Hey, what is going on? Joe 698EV. Thanks for stopping in. I know it's Friday, and hopefully you had a pretty good week this week, but I tell you what, last Friday I told you it was going to get cold, and did it? You bet it did. It's not only cold, it is freaking cold. And we got more coming, so be prepared for it. We got a second wave. It's about 22 here in Dallas-Fort Worth, and it's going to get even colder starting Sunday into Wednesday of next week. So get prepared if you're out in it and you are riding, and make sure that you are prepared. But you know what? 250 dual sports are fantastic. We all know that. But why would you get a 250 when you can get a 300? That Honda and that Kawasaki. They're both fantastic bikes, but which one is probably the better one, and what's the best bang for your buck? Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it coming up next. Hey, what's going on? Happy Friday. Joe 690ADP. Thanks for stopping in on the Friday video. I told you it was going to get cold. You can pretty much see my breath. It's about 22 here in Dallas-Fort Worth. It definitely, I told you last week it was going to come. And if you're out in this stuff, man, please take your precautions and be very, very smart about it. And try to find some shelter until this stuff passes, because I know it's going well into next week. I want to give about 2 seconds of my time to the 100-car pileup in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's actually in the Fort Worth area. My heart goes out to everybody that is there, and it hits kind of close to home. I'm about 10 miles from where that accident happened, and my heart goes out to everybody that's out there, and I feel for you, all my Texas people. Anyway, on to the Friday video. Kawasaki and Honda. Yeah, why would you get a 250 when the 300 just came out? And it looks like Honda is pretty much discontinuing that 250 until late next year. They're going to be making some major upgrades on that bike to try to get it more to what they did with that 300. But that Kawasaki, man, I tell you what, that 300, fantastic motorcycle too. So really, what's the better bang for the buck for those two bikes? Well, we're going to get into those and talk about what the differences between the two bikes are, and maybe what's the better bang for buck for you, because maybe you're a new rider, or you're just looking for a secondary bike. Maybe you own an ADV bike, an adventure bike like a BMW 800 or an 850, or maybe a KTM 1090 or something like that, or just any of those bikes, Honda Africa Twin. But you want something a little smaller, a little lighter, a little bit more oriented, and maybe one of these two bikes is going to be right for you. Let's talk about those two bikes, starting with the Kawasaki. Hey, the Kawasaki, yeah, the KLX300. Kawasaki had that big unveiling talking about all the new bikes that were going to come out, and that 300 was one of them. And we also just recently got, the KLR650. But this isn't about the KLR650, this is about the KLX300. Now, the KLX300, when they unveiled it late last year, was really actually pretty awesome, to be quite honest with you, because the KLX 250S, super underpowered bike. KLX 300, much better setup for what it is, I'll be quite honest with you. And I love Kawasaki. I've owned multiple Kawasaki's, and we actually have a Kawasaki. My kids have a Kawasaki KLX 140L Monster Edition. Super great bike, super fun. So Kawasaki, super reliable bikes, and they are amazingly reliable. Now, 292cc liquid cooled engine, which is really nice. You gotta like the liquid cooled. That keeps it, nice and cool when you're running on those hot days. 292 cc's, 6-speed transmission. That means it's a lot of guys like to say, it's got that cruising gear, man. So that when you get out on the highway and you're going to run, you're going to do that business, well, that 6th gear makes a really big difference to a lot of people. Some people think that 6th gear is not a big deal. I personally like it. It makes that engine smooth and hum on the highway a whole lot better than 5-speed transmission. Now, better suspension than the 250. in the Kawasaki, definitely over the 250. I was never a gigantic fan of the KLX 250. I think the 300, I think they did a great job, and I think they really, really modified that bike a lot to make it much, much better. Now, front and rear disc brakes, which is really nice. As far as I know, I don't think it comes with ABS. If it does, down below, let me know if you got one of the brand new KLX 300s. If it does have ABS, but I don't think it comes with an ABS or a switchable ABS on that bike. 2118 tires. I mean, I really love the 2118 tires because it makes it nice. It's just like this CRF300L that we have in the shop right here. It's really nice. The tire selection is so much better with the 21-inch front and an 18-inch rear. Now, with that right there, it's really, 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 really nice because you can get those great 50/50 tires, but you can also get those really, really nice street tires as well. Seat height at about 35 inches really makes it nice for just about everybody. But just remember, worst comes to worst, you can lower that bike. Don't forget, you can hit me up at 690adv@gmail.com, and I will do my best to point you in the right direction to get that lowering link, to get that bike down a little bit lower, to make you a little bit happier to get those feet planted on the ground. Now, it's about 302 pounds. Now, you know what? Some say that's wet, some say that's the curb weight, you know, tomato. You know, but at 300 pounds, that's really not all that bad, to be quite honest with you. I'm sure I'll catch flack for people saying, oh, it's a gigantic pig, you know, but at the end of the day, man, when we're riding KLRs and we're also riding these adventure bikes, 302 pounds, it's really not all that bad. It's got about 10.8 inches of clearance. That's really, really pretty nice because underneath that bike right there, it's really going to be nice getting over log sticks, going over rutted roads, washouts, any of that type of stuff. It's really going to work out pretty well for you. Two colors in that bike. You're going to get the classic lime green for the Kawasaki, which is really, really nice. And I love that digital camo, man. That digital camo is fantastic. It looks super cool, but you're going to pay a little bit more for it. MSRP for your standard lime green, you're going to be looking at about $55.99, and then you're going to be around about $57.99 for that digital camo. But at the end of the day, man, you're talking under $6,000 for a dual sport bike that can pretty much get out and do all the business. Now, onto that Honda. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with the word Honda. Why? Honda's been around forever, just like Kawasaki, and Honda is synonymous with reliability and built very, very well, and they take care of their customers. Now, nice thing is Honda, when they released that 300L, well, they didn't just do the 300L, they also gave us the 300 Rally, which is really cool because between those two motorcycles, they made fantastic waves with that bike. Now, from what I understand, they pretty much have discontinued, not permanently, but for a little while, the 250L or the CRF300L. They're updating it to get it a little bit more modernized and get it a little bit better, which is basically this guy right here. And the CRF300L is a fantastic motorcycle. There's nothing wrong with it. But really, in all honesty, why would you want a 250L when you get that 300 that's out there? Especially the brand new Honda CRF300L. The Honda 300 CRF is fantastic. It comes in two flavors, the L and the Rally edition. It's a 286cc liquid-cooled engine, 6-speed transmission, which is nice. Like I said, 6-speed. Some guys like to sit there and say, oh, that extra gear doesn't mean anything. I personally love the 6th gear. Makes it great on the highway. Better suspension than the 250. They really updated that suspension. Makes it really, really nice. Disc brakes, you can get two different types. You can either get it in a standard or you can get the bike in an ABS, which is really, really cool. You're going to pay for it. Keep that in mind. You'll pay extra money for the ABS if that's what you want. Now, same as the Kawasaki, 21-inch front, 18-inch rear. You can't go wrong with that tire selection. It's really perfect for dual sport motorcycles. Nice thing, 34-inch seat height. You're going to get a little bit higher in that Rally, but it's not going to be a ton. So if you're looking at that bike right there, just remember, always remember, no matter what bike you get, you can always drop the seat height by getting that lowering link. And if you need help, remember 690adv@gmail.com, and I'll help you out the best I can. Now, nice thing about this bike, a little bit more than Kawasaki, 11.2 in the ground clearance, which is really, really nice, especially like right under here. It's nice. It allows you to get over rocks, stumps, river crossings, all that type of stuff, logs, the whole 9 yards. Clearance is a really big deal if you plan on going off-road. Now, 309 pounds. Now, is that a wet weight? Probably not, but that's still not bad. It's still going to be perfect for getting out on the road and also getting off-road, and it's going to be really fantastic. That bike's going to be able to do the business 100%. Only comes in one color, classic Honda red. It looks fantastic. I love it, that red, white, a little bit of blue. It's really, really awesome. Now, just like the Kawasaki, I think one of the most favorite things about this bike is going to be its MSRP. These bikes are priced totally right. L, $52.49, and the Rally is going to be $59.99. But I tell you what, at that price for a brand new bike, you can't go wrong. I'm telling you, that's really, really fantastic. So, between the two bikes, my beloved Honda, but I also have Kawasaki too, and I've owned many Kawasaki's. I love both bikes. Which bike do I pick? Man, I tell you what, and be all honest with you, I think they're both fantastic, and you win with either bike, either way. But I tell you what, why would you buy a 250 when you can get a 300 for roughly the same price? So, I like them both. I think if I had to drop my money down today, what I'd probably go with, and this is just my personal opinion, I really think I'd go with that Kawasaki, only because I love the Kawasaki green and I love that camo. And that's the only reason. I don't truly think it's a better bike. I just think overall, I like the pick, the color, the whole 9 yards. I think they're fantastic. And I think they both will perform perfectly out in the dual sport environment. And they'll do great on the road, and you can adventure travel and camp on those bikes. So, between the two, they're priced right, under $6,000. You win no matter which bike you get. Hey, I'm Joe, 690ADV. Don't forget, hit our subscribe button and also be part of our channel as well. Don't forget, if you need any gear down there at our Amazon store, please. It helps the channel out. It really, really does. And it allows us to get a little bit warmer when it's freezing on days like this. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping in. Don't forget, 690adv@gmail.com. We'll help you out any way we can. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. Be warm, because it's going to be cold. 690 out.